Man, that last time was on show gaming was flaming, bro. Anyway, if you want to cancel me, that's twitter.com/Suenid.
Welcome back on the show. We gotta stop being fucking hilarious off the show, bro.
Yeah, for sure. That's our problem.
Every time I hang out with my wife and I say something funny, I'm like, shit!
Admittedly, though, I do sometimes, especially... It happens sometimes when like, you and I are at Buffalo, too, but I swear to God, if Cranen and I go out to eat, something will get said that is just, like, gut-bustingly funny.
Oh, yeah.
And then but you can't recreate that after the fact.
No, for sure. No, when we go to Buffalo, it is all killer, no filler. And then as soon as we get on the show, it's like we forget that we like each other.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, do you see that Dodgers game? It's like, who are the Dodgers?
I have never watched an episode of baseball in my fucking life.
An episode of baseball?
What would you call it?
Games!
Okay, I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair.
Bro, did you see the new episode of New York Yankees?
I'm not really a big fan of this character arc. Okay, let's calm down over there. We all misspeak.
I agree with you. I, of all people, have no room to talk about people accidentally saying things incorrectly. It definitely happens all the fucking time.
It's just yours are particularly fucking stupid.
Exactly, dumbass. Jesus. So, bro.
So,
do you want to play a game right now, bro? Not a game.
I am playing a game right now.
A trivia game.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Bad start, but whatever.
No, so here's the thing. The grand prize of this trivia game.
Okay.
It's money.
Oh, okay.
There's 10 questions. If you get all 10 of these questions right, you get the grand prize.
Okay.
Of $1.
Okay.
This drone is very dangerous.
But there are potential consequences if you don't get enough.
Okay.
So this is the Bible Figures Trivia Game Show.
Bible Figures?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Don't worry, bro. I have faith in you.
I went to Bible camp for like 2 weeks when I was 8.
You're gonna fucking nail this, and you're gonna win that $1, bro.
Okay.
So if you get less than 9, you're gonna get fired out of the OTS cannon.
Okay.
That is on the top of the shelf complex.
Okay.
If you get less than 7, you're fired from on-the-shelf gaming.
Okay.
Less than 5, you're removed from the OTS cannon. Not the cannon that shoots people, the cannon of the lore of our show.
Right, okay.
Less than 3, you die.
Okay.
Get 0 correct, you die, and you suffer from guaranteed eternal damnation.
Okay.
So you prepared to take on this challenge?
Sure.
Hell yeah! So I'm gonna name these 10 characters from the Bible.
Okay.
And you need to tell me who they are.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be like hyper specific.
Just a general.
Yeah, like I'm not
works.
Yeah, like I'm not a Bible expert by any stretch of the imagination either. But so if you have just like a vague idea of who the guy is,
okay,
then we're good. Number 1, Jesus.
Son of God, died for our sins.
Hell yes, you're on fire.
No, he lights on fire.
Do you think when Heat Blast dies that God sends him to hell because that's like heaven for Heat Blast? Makes sense to me.
Anyway, question 2.
Character number 2, Job.
Hey, that containment.
Was that the guy who almost killed his son?
No, that is not the right guy.
Okay.
You got 2 more chances.
Was that the guy who got eaten by a fish?
No, he is not that guy.
Okay.
Final opportunity. That $1 is on the line.
Pass.
All right. So Job's whole thing was that God and the devil made a bet. The devil was like, listen, if I do bad shit to this guy, he's going to lose faith in you. And God was like, no, he won't. And so all kinds of horrible shit happened to him. Shit up to and including the devil killing his entire family. And he did not lose his faith in God. And so God rewarded him with a new family.
Okay.
Which is obviously a reasonable replacement and totally okay. So you have officially lost the opportunity to get the $1.
Okay, that's fine.
If you don't miss any more, you won't have to be shot out of the OTS cannon.
Okay.
So you're fine, bro. Are you familiar with Cain?
Yes. Cain and Abel, the brothers.
Yes. You know which brother he is?
There's a difference. I don't know, the left brother?
So you were right. That is good enough. So the reason Cain and Abel are relevant, Cain was the first murderer, and he murdered Abel.
Okay.
The first person to ever get murdered.
Sure. Okay.
Do you know who Peter is?
One of the acolytes or disciples. He's Saint Peter at the gates.
Yes.
Yes.
He's one of the 12 apostles.
Yeah, apostle. That's the
Good job, bro. That's 3 right and only 1 wrong so far. That's impressive. I was not expecting you to avoid eternal damnation. Well, no, I did, because I put Jesus on here, just in case, so you wouldn't get 0 correct. For question number 5, who is Moses?
Moses is the guy with the boat.
No.
No, split the Red Sea. Sorry, I was thinking of the sea.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, no, do over. Moses is the guy with the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
Led the Jews out of Egypt.
He did. Number 6, Noah.
That's the ark.
That is the
That's the boatman.
Number 7, Jonah.
Was Jonah the guy who almost killed his son?
No.
No. That he sounds
Spoilers,
familiar.
that the guy who almost killed his son is not even on this list.
Oh, okay. Whale. He's the guy who got me a fish.
He is the fish guy.
He's the fish guy.
No, so the guy who almost killed his son, that would be Abraham. He's where the term Abrahamic religions comes from.
Oh.
3 more to go, bro.
Okay.
You could still save yourself from being launched out of the cannon. I'm impressed. I was expecting way worse performance. That's why I thought it'd be really funny when the only person from the Bible you knew was Jesus. Who is David?
The guy who killed Goliath with the sling.
Yes! He is that guy. He was also one of the kings of Israel.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know that part.
Do you know who Solomon is?
Wasn't that like the fucking King Solomon? Wasn't King Solomon the guy who was like, we'll cut the baby in half?
He is that guy. And then when the actual mom was like, no, don't cut him in half, and the other mom was like, sure. Half a baby's half as good as a full baby.
And he was like, aha, you must be the mother, because she knew not to cut a baby in half.
And you hear stories like that, and it's like, oh, there's no way anyone could ever be that stupid. That has to be a made-up story, and like it's in the Bible, so could go either way. But also, having worked in customer service, it's like if you told me that person is out there right now, I'd believe you. I would 100% believe that person is just out there waiting for their baby to be cut in half so they can have their share. So the final one, bro.
What's up?
This is the deciding factor. You can't get that $1.
Controller's down. I'm focused. I'm focused.
You can keep yourself from being blasted out of a cannon.
Okay.
Who in the Bible is Muhammad?
Wasn't he was a brother. He had a brother, and didn't one of them found like Islam?
No.
Was Muhammad? No, Muhammad is 2 brothers, and then one of them went and did. I don't fucking know who's Muhammad.
Muhammad isn't in the Bible. Because he is the Islam guy.
That's what I was like. I was like, there's something Islam with Muhammad.
It's the biblical figures trivia quiz.
No, you said Bible.
Yeah.
Not biblical as in like, fuck off. Load me up.
If it makes you feel better, at the end of it, I put in parentheses in all caps, trick question. That was so I wouldn't have to give you $1 just in case you knew way more about the Bible than I expected. Which you did. I almost would have had to have given you $1.
I think
Man. So I might have told you this, but it wasn't on the show if I did. Recently I was reading Tony Iommi's autobiography. It's such a weird book, and one of the things that's really weird about it is it has a shit ton of chapters.
Right.
Like, in the first 100 pages, I think it had like 50 chapters. Not literally, but it was a ton. Things that other authors would have probably woven together into a single chapter. Just like every time it changes thoughts, it's just a new chapter. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It just is how it wrote it and was weird. But it was so fucking funny because in his autobiography is a joke that we fucking do. And I took a picture of it even and saved it on this doc on my phone. So let me just read you this paragraph.
Okay.
From Tony Iommi's autobiography, Iron Man. Read it if you haven't ever read it and you're even remotely interested. It was very good. It says, we rehearsed some blues stuff, did a few songs, called ourselves the Pocatello Blues Band. Jimmy Phillips and me were going to try and get some gigs. We were in our lounge with the phone on the boxes, and I said, well, Jimmy, you phone this one. This Spotlight Entertainment sounds interesting. He phoned up, and he went, can I speak to Mr. Spotlight, please? And I saw that shit, and I was like, whoa!
That's a gimmick infringement!
They were doing that shit in like the late 60s or early 70s. We weren't even born yet. I can't believe I stole everything about On the Shelf Gaming from Black Sabbath. It was so fucking funny when I saw that shit. I legit was like, that's insane. Not that I'm like, oh, no one could have ever thought up Mr. Company Name being the boss. Like that's a super obvious joke. But then just seeing, like, and a famous person, even,
right,
putting that in their autobiography, it's like, that's crazy.
Imagine a famous person being funny.
Of course it wasn't. This was this Jimmy Phillips guy who said it, so technically it wasn't him. In his autobiography, he actually spends a surprisingly large amount, not surprising, because I'm sure to him it's all equally valid, because it's all his life, but kind of surprising to me, because it's like, it's not the relevant part of Black Sabbath. Because let's be real, that's the Ozzy years, and then to a somewhat lesser extent, the Dio years.
Right.
And everything else is just like, nobody really cares about that.
Right.
Have you ever listened to any of the non-Ozzy or non-Dio Sabbath stuff?
I don't think so.
I don't think
if I have, I didn't recognize it.
The only thing I think I've ever listened to, back when I was in like high school, and got all my music by like watching YouTube videos, because they didn't really have like proper streaming yet. When I found out that Black Sabbath had like all these different singers, I was like, oh, I want to hear them. But I didn't want to hear them do like their own stuff. I wanted to hear them do the Ozzy Sabbath stuff.
Right.
So like I've heard, like I went and I looked up Paranoid, and I was like, oh, I'll listen to Dio do Paranoid, which sucks.
Right.
Not because he's a bad singer, just because it doesn't fit.
Right. It's not Ozzy.
And then like I've heard Ian Gillan, who was I think the third singer, who used to sing for Deep Purple, or maybe sings for Deep Purple again, I don't know. But like he was there, and his Paranoid was fine. Like I heard that Rob Halford did those few shows with them, like in the 90s, and so I went and I listened to him do some stuff, and his was also okay. What the fuck? But like, and granted, they didn't do any like actual new music with Halford. But the other guys, like, I didn't go out and listen to any of those fucking albums. I still haven't. I read the autobiography. He's like, man, I really ought to, because he's talking like about how much he likes a lot of these songs. It's like, man, like just because they're not the hits doesn't mean I wouldn't like them. I should really check out some of these songs he's talking about. Haven't done that. I finished the book like 2 weeks ago. Probably won't ever. I don't know. On the Show Gaming question today. Have you ever listened to any songs from Black Sabbath that weren't from the era that people actually like?
Oh, this guy's tough. This guy's got some maneuvers.
Yeah. But think about it. Could be worse. He doesn't have a shield.
That's true. He's just got a sword. infinitely cooler than shields.
For sure.
Maybe I just keep speed blitzing them with this.
Probably. There's no reason we can't. It doesn't deal a ton of damage, but like it's doing okay.
Right, it's working. And it's keeping me from getting hit by him.
That's what I was gonna say, is we're not being killed. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's fine. Minor setback. There we go. And kabloosh.
Have we talked about, since it ended, the John Cena heel turn?
Nope. I don't think we've talked about wrestling at all since last time we talked about wrestling.
That is usually how long it's been since we've talked about wrestling.
Well, I'm saying it's been a while.
So how do you feel in hindsight?
Hindsight, total waste of time. I was on board with it, and I would still be on board with it if it was good, but they banked too much of it on The Rock and Travis Scott being there, when it sounds like everyone knew that The Rock and Travis Scott were not going to be there.
It kind of seems to me like they knew that The Rock wasn't actually going to be there, but they just wanted, like, Travis Scott to have... Brutal. They just wanted Travis Scott to have, like, the rub of being like, oh, he's working directly for The Rock or whatever.
Right.
So they brought him out initially when Travis Scott should have never been involved at all. And in reality, The Rock shouldn't have been involved. But if you put The Rock in, that's still okay.
Right.
As long as he then continues to do stuff.
But it sounds like The Rock made it clear that he was not going to be doing stuff.
And so they were like, well, we'll just use Travis Scott instead. And Travis Scott kept fucking things up and then didn't want to agree to do anything, apparently, from what it sounded like.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, so now 2/3 of his heel turn, and like, I hate to say that the Mania match would have been way better if nothing was different except for The Rock had come out instead of Travis Scott. But let's be real. Damn, that just brutalized him.
I feel a little dumb for losing that first time. I really overthought that.
But like, if The Rock had come out and just rushed out and hit Cody Rhodes with a rock bottom,
yeah,
instant, like, 2 points better on a 10-point scale than it actually was in real life. If Travis Scott just doesn't come out at all and John Cena just cheats to win, also just a bit. And I liked a lot of stuff, especially John getting to wrestle Randy as the bad guy and getting to wrestle Punk as the bad guy, which, like, they'd had, like, with Punk at least, matches where they were both the good guys, at least kind of, but never one where Punk was just flat out the face and John Cena was the heel.
Right.
But even then, the matches weren't that different than they were anyway.
Yeah.
The only ones that really seemed to be changed by the fact that he was heel when he was wrestling Cody Rhodes.
Of course. The Omnitrix doesn't just store.
And then he turned face and put on, like, the best match of his retirement tour so far.
Right.
So,
oh, I know. The street fight with Cody was great. And John himself, and granted, this is John probably just PR building for himself, but John said that, like, that lit a fire in him. Like, he thinks the rest of his tour is going to be way better because of that match.
right.
And it was really good.
It was. And I mean, because again, like, I really enjoyed the Orton match. I really enjoyed the Punk match. I even really enjoyed the R-Truth match.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like, there's been lots of good stuff. I've enjoyed it so far, but I definitely think there were many, many missteps. Which is extra unfortunate considering that he's John Cena.
Right.
So, like, obviously it's always... Because it's like Goldberg also retired not that long ago. And he was complaining about some of the stuff related to his match in the aftermath. And it's like, yeah, it sucks and it wasn't everything that he'd hoped it would be.
Right.
But he's Goldberg. Yeah, he's not John Cena.
Right.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I really don't know what he was expecting on that one. Especially because he was never a WWE guy. He was a WCW guy.
For sure. Well, and the fact that they let him keep coming back is really kind of crazy. Because you know he was charging a fucking fortune for all these appearances.
Oh, I'm sure.
Why would we stop the RV? Just activate the springy jump button and jump. When does Grandpa Max just pull out his, like, plumber gigantic laser bazooka or whatever? And just waylay some of these guys.
Next time on the show gaming.